Hello, pilots, and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and today we have the final of the Commentator Wars. So thank you very much for everyone who's stuck through all of the videos and watched some excellent games with us. We now have our top two, and to help me commentate this, I am joined today by...
Finalist James. I'm so happy I can say finalist.
Well, you just had to throw that one in there, didn't you? But yes, we do have James.
I mean, you never tell me what my intro should be, so I just, why would I not?
I like you just to have fun with it and just free format. It's absolutely fine. We're quite casual here. You know that by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so James, you have made it to the final. So very well done. It was a long old time getting here. And there was a bit of delay actually getting the final done due to Fergus having schoolwork to do, but we did get there in the end. So
yeah, I mean, he had a good run to get to the final as well. Go have a look at some of his games. They're brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. He flew very well after a very tough first game against yourself. He then managed to have a perfect run after that. So it'd be really good to see how this game goes.
He was out for vengeance. For this game.
He was indeed. So I think we should probably run down the list. So let's go through Fergus's list first. So we have the Rebels with the ever popular Hera Syndulla, with the XX23 S-Thread Tracers. We've got Garvin Dryce with the Servo Motor S-Foils, Kyle Katarn with Jin Erso and the Moldy Crow title, and Magva Yarrow with Pivot Wing, Leia Organa, and false transponder codes. So a lot of token shenanigans here in this list.
Of token shenanigans.
Yeah, it's actually quite crazy, the shenanigans, and we'll go through some of that a little bit later on. But James, did you want to quickly go through your list?
Absolutely. So I brought the same list I took in the semi-finals against Quinn. I've got 3 T-70 X-Wings for the Resistance. I've got original Poe Dameron with an R4 Astromech, heavy laser cannon, S-Foils, and heroic. The original Temin Wexley with R4 Astromech, heavy laser cannon, S-Foils, and heroic. And then Nien Nunn with R4 Astromech, heavy laser cannon, S-Foils, heroic, and a pattern analyzer.
Mixing it up a little bit there with the pattern analyzer.
The pattern analyzer on Nien Nunn is so good. I mean, even if you just take him and a patternalizer and forget all the other upgrades, you probably even forget the S-Foils. It's such a fun combination when you pull it off. If you play Resistance, try it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think pattern analyzer is almost a staple on Nien Nunn, like almost as much as the S-Foils. So I think S-Foils, you just chuck them on there, knowing you might never actually use them, but they're free.
You never know when you might need a barrel roll.
Yeah.
With the Resistance ones at least, the Rebels get the boost when they close.
True. It's quite nice that they've got their own flavour of S-Foils in there, not just having a slightly different name to them. But again, I think it's just an auto-include. There's 0 points. It kind of makes sense just to chuck it on there. But so you've got quite a heavy offensive list there, with some very maneuverable ships and those heavy laser cannons should they come into play. So that's going to be quite an interesting thing to see how well that pans out for you.
Yeah, and it was my first game against Hera Syndulla in the A-Wing. And I was very looking forward to seeing what she can do.
Yeah, she is quite good. I think there's still quite a big debate on whether the points are fair or right for her, because she's an I6.
Yeah, and at least as we're recording this, she is 42 points.
Yeah, which is crazy cheap. And I know some people will say, oh, but it's only an A-Wing. If you come up against A-Wings and you're not running suppressive fire or suppressive gunner, we're looking at you, Quinn, you'll know that they are not the easiest thing to take out. They might not have the teeth of some other ships,
but they will survive.
Yeah, their maneuverability and 3 of 8 dice is crazy.
And the maneuverability at Initiative 6 just makes it so much better. It's why I really like Poe.
Yeah, I mean, when you add maneuverability and high initiative like that, it is very good. I mean, that's why you see pilots like Sun Fell and Sienna. They're not cheap pilots. You look at Fen Rao as well in the Fang Fighter. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's probably one of the top tier i6 because the Fang Fighter is crazy. But yeah, it's just quite. For the points cost, she is very, very good. And I kind of expect to see her in quite a few Rebel lists, especially with her ability there as well.
I think so. 42 points with no upgrades is such a good sort of point value to be at to just fit into almost any other list.
Yeah.
Like you put 3 ships together, you're like, okay, these seem good. How many points have I got? Oh, I've got 42. I'll throw in Hera. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, even in this, Fergus has still got 2 points to spare as well. So it's only a 198 point list. And
he's got so much synergy in his list.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, we mentioned about point sharing. You've obviously got Hera's ability. So while another friendly ship at range 1 to 2 defends or performs an attack, you may transfer one of your focus tokens, evade tokens, or locks to that ship. Crazy. Like, so good. As well, the fact that she's got XX23s as well, just to automatically hand out locks to people. Brilliant. You look at Garvin. After you spend a focus token, you may choose one friendly ship at range 1 to 3. That ship gains a focus token. Again, absolutely crazy. Kyle Katarn, at the start of the engagement phase, you may transfer one of your focus tokens to a friendly ship and you're firing up.
Additionally, with Jyn Erso crew to say, actually, rather than taking a focus, you're taking evade.
Yeah.
And Moldy Crow to store up some focuses.
And basically give it a 180-degree arc.
And the added damage, yes.
Yeah. And then you've got Magva, who, although doesn't hand out tokens, has a great ability. While a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 defends, the attacker cannot reroll more than one attack die.
I think this is the first time I played against Magva, and that's an amazing ability, and I don't know why I haven't seen them used more. It's a safety bubble that stops multiple rerolls.
Yeah, it is a really good. It reminds me kind of the Padme Amidala ability.
Yeah, a little bit,
but better because you don't have to be in Magva's arc for that. So it's a really such a good set of abilities on there, and again, all at a fairly good premium. I mean, Magva Yarrow is the most expensive one on the board. Being a U-wing and a medium-based ship, you kind of expect that. But yeah, it's really good economy in those ships there.
Yeah, and then you got layer crew to prevent the loss of all of those focus tokens and passing around when you want to do a red maneuver.
Yeah.
And false transponder codes to sync up with Hera's thread tracers.
Yeah. And false transponder codes are really good. I came up against a game where my opponent had 3 false transponder codes, one on each ship.
Okay.
He was also playing Scum, so he had Jabber as well, so he was actually able to regain those charges for false transponder codes, which was very, very damaging for me because I was running 4 interceptors who desperately wanted focuses. So
right, yes. Although, I mean, it's very fitting that Jabber can kind of just order Bib to go get some more transponder codes.
Yeah, it's just they're like, right, off you go, sort it out. While you're there, find us a baby Rancor.
Yeah.
No spoilers. But yeah, so it looks like we do have a bit of a measured approach here from
Fergus doing the, I think at this point, traditional slow roll-in for the Rebels.
Yeah.
And I've gone for, Temin can do a boost. I'm going to send him right round the back.
Yeah, absolutely. You've definitely got him looking to get around the side there and trying to keep like quite a wide net to cover.
Yeah, he's very good at that.
Yeah, you've got a wide net as well to cover wherever Fergus ends up going.
Quinn was the semi-final.
Yeah, Quinn was in the semi-final. But yeah, so it should be quite interesting. And it looks like we've got Kyle staying nice and safe at the back, just so that he can be passing off tokens left, right, and centre there.
Yeah, I mean, we're all just trying to get target locks on each other.
Yeah.
Definitely out of range. So we're just locking onto some rocks. You can never be too sure.
I mean, rocks are dangerous. Rocks are sketchy. You've got to be careful of them.
None of us have any way to get rid of them once we target lock them, but you have to target lock an object. So,
Yeah. I mean, do we reckon one day we might get seismic torpedoes? We've got seismic charges.
maybe at some point.
Yeah, I think it'd be quite an interesting thing.
I mean, what would they? I'm trying to think of a ship that would be sort of thematic to give those to. My first thought was like, oh, mining guild, but the only mining guild ship we've got is a TIE fighter, but that's not really going to work out.
At least for the time being, we may possibly see some large base ships for the mining guild. There was the other YV variant. And
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I can't remember the number of it off the top of my head, but I was very excited when I see it in the animated series.
It's always exciting to see a new ship.
Yeah, and
Or even an old ship. You point at it on TV and go, oh, I know that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think when you see, I think it was in Rebels when you see the YT-2400 appear at one point.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And I was just like, oh, that's so cool. It's really nice to actually see it.
But that moment where
action.
you finally get the Blu-ray for Rise of Skywalker, you get to the end scene for the Battle of Exegol, all the ships show up and you just pause it and you just look.
Yeah.
And you try and work out what's actually recognizable.
True. And then you also look at it going, right, what could we be potentially seeing?
Yeah, what are we going to get in X-Wing? Which ones are these? Can we get all of these? When are these showing up?
Well, I mean, at the moment, I think a lot of things are gearing towards some more resistance and first order ships. I don't know, did you see that there was a little bit of a rumor about the resistance Y-Wing?
I've not heard any rumors, but it doesn't surprise me that is on their radar.
So there was a spoiler. Again, take all these with a pinch of salt. That was talking about the ETA NR2 Y-Wing, which is the resistance variant of the Y-Wing, and this might be a dual pack. Because it says contents 2, with 2 bases, 2 dials, 12 ship cards, and 18 upgrade cards. So potentially, we might be seeing dual packs coming soon, which I think would be quite a good thing to add to the game, especially for ships that you're...
Maybe, although they've just done a whole run of the squadron packs, which is 3 ships.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, the squadron packs are really good, don't get me wrong. I love them. The only one I don't have is Heralds of Hope, which is, again, a really good
one
pack.
I do have.
Yeah. But I mean, when I look at it, I sort of... When it said 2 Y-Wings, I was thinking... Oh, I don't know about that. But then I was also thinking, hold on, there's a lot of ships that you do want multiples of, and it would be nice if you could just get that in one pack without having to spend maybe £45-50 on 3 ships when you only really need 2 of them. So if they were to do something like that, and it was maybe a bit more beneficial to buy them as 2, it could be quite cool. I mean, you look at, say, TIE fighters, you never need just one of those. I know you get 2 in the starter set, but
I don't even play the villain sides, and I've already got a bunch of TIE fighters.
That's for the multiple starter sets.
Yeah,
exactly. So it'd be nice if there was a way of doing that with like other ships that you are more than likely to want 1 or 2 of, but maybe don't have anything like super AC. So again, I was thinking Y-Wings would be quite good. Maybe we'll see a double pack for when they re-release Brobots, because you pretty much always want 2 of those. So
yeah, although they're medium bases.
They are medium bases, yes.
I'm not sure they double up on medium bases. Or maybe they do and just put the price point higher.
Yeah.
But you're right. It probably should be a double pack if that is a possibility.
Ooh, looks like it might be getting some action here. So Poe has just moved his target lock from that pesky rock onto
Hera. Just double checking range. Can definitely target lock.
definitely target lock. Always worth checking, especially with TTS where it's sometimes a bit hard to eyeball it. But you were definitely fine for that target lock there. So we'll see how this first round of shooting goes. Now, Fergus does have the initiative, so that does mean that Hera will get to shoot first.
Yes.
And there is a focus token being passed off, but being changed to an evade because of Jin Erso.
Smart move, knowing that, I'm at least going to attack with Poe. And judging by the range, probably the others.
Yeah, it looks like you've got two good shots from Nian and Poe, and potentially squeaking it in with Temmin as well. And looks like, is he going to go for Poe?
I mean, neither are obstructed.
Yeah. I mean,
Poe's worth more points, but all of his ships have a better line on Nian.
In fact, all of his ships can probably get, except for Kyle at the back, that all of his ships can probably get Nian.
Just cheering on everyone else. Yeah, he's going for Nian.
I think that's the right choice, and it looks like it's going to be the first shot with the XX-23s to get some target locks going around. So let's see who has the hot dice today.
Pretty good.
Not bad, not bad.
Only 2 dice for
defense because it is
the T-70.
It is a munition. That's pretty good there. Double evade.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's one XX-23 wasted there, but you know what? They are pretty cheap. They're only 2 points, so it's not exactly a huge loss, but that could have been quite helpful there in dealing with Nian.
So yeah, I'm just gonna put everything I've got into Hera, at least for now, because she is, as you said earlier, very maneuverable and at a high initiative, and I don't want to be in a position where Poe goes down and Temmin and Nian just can't catch her.
Yeah, I think one of the worst bits for me about targeting Hera is that you're more targeting her because of her ability, not because of the points you're going to get for her.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing, isn't it? It's like, I've got half points on Hera. How many is that? 21. Oh, okay. That's what, a regular TIE fighter?
Yeah, that is exactly a regular TIE fighter, but you have just caused the spend of the evade token there, so that's not too bad.
1 token down.
1 token down, 1 to go.
Now here's the dilemma. Do I keep going into Hera, or do I use the heavy laser cannon onto Garvin? And I thought about this for a little while before realizing Garvin has a focus, and if I make him spend it, he can just pass it to Hera, and then Hera's got more defenses for Temmin. So,
and I think in the long run, you've got to go for what is the biggest, like, air quotes, threat.
Yeah, also, focusing fire in this game is almost always the answer.
Yeah. I mean, if you can put all of your shots into one target to try and get it down, do that. I mean, you've got the debate, spend that focus. You decided against spending it.
I saved it because I knew that he was going to be a target for Fergus's shots.
Yeah, which was a good idea because there was 2 evades in there, so that's not too bad. Does Temmin have a...
we've got Garvin first.
Sorry, Garvin first. Yeah, we're going in initiative order. So, again, Fergus is going to focus in onto Nian, which I think is right because, again, unobstructed, so it's going to be 3v3, whereas Poe would be 3v4. So hit crit, not a bad first roll. More evades out of the bag.
More evades.
Is this another one of those games again, James? Are you just going to evade everything?
I mean, you've seen the game. I've played the game. We know how the dice go in this. It gets a little bit bonkers.
Yeah.
For both sides, but really.
I mean, without spoiling anything, this is a cracking game. When this was finished recording, we all just sort of sat there and were like, yep, that was a good game for a final. Oh, that's a nice roll as well there.
Decent shot.
I mean, 5 of 8 dice, and there's plenty of evades there.
Having to spend one of the focus tokens.
No, there's 2 evades there.
Oh, there's 2. Sorry.
He was looking at spending the focus, but not necessary at all.
Just double checking for Kyle. Why not?
Again, we mentioned earlier that sometimes that range 3 bubble can be quite tricky to.
It's always good to just go through the motions of your list and just go, okay, who's next? Kyle. Okay, check for Kyle. Kyle can't shoot. Okay, who's next? Magva. Okay, who can Magva shoot? Okay, we'll shoot Nian because I don't like his laugh.
Well, I think even if you play in real life as well, after that first turn of movement, there's always one person that gets the range 3 rearer out, waves it in between all the ships and goes, well, no shooting there today. It's normally me, not gonna lie. It's not.
I mean, even earlier when Fergus was, triggering Jyn Erso, he took the focus, put it next to Hera, put the evade down, took the focus away. It's just going through the motions of your cards to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Yeah,
and absolutely. To clearly indicate to your opponent what is going on.
Yes, that is definitely. Being very vocal and very communicative with your opponent is always a very good tip, especially if you are playing on TTS, because you can't see, it's a lot harder to see what people are doing.
Also, sometimes Discord cuts out.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of our vocals, do it over Discord, and that can be an absolute nightmare sometimes. But I mean, obviously, when you're playing in real life, you can sort of see the person moving and their whole hand moving towards a card. Whereas on this, you've got to try and watch a little green mouse like hand icon, whilst you're also trying to do your dials. So it's not the easiest of things to do.
Yeah, I mean, if you're ever unsure of what an opponent just did, just say, sorry, how did you get that token, or how did you do that barrel roll or something? Just ask them, and I'm sure they'll just point to one of their cards and go, oh, because of this. And then if you're still unsure, I'm sure they'll let you read it.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of cards in the game now.
There's so many cards in the game, you can't be expected to remember all of them.
No, I mean, there are
I'm sure some people can.
Oh yeah,
I can't.
Some X-Wing savants out there. But I mean, there's a lot of cards that you'll see frequently that you'll be familiar with. R4 Astromech, for instance, S-Foils, Heroic. They're the ones you'll see quite a lot. There are some that you won't see as often, like false transponder codes are quite new. Jyn Erso, yes. She's not played as often as you'd expect, but again, very solid card. But it's always good to, at the beginning of the game, obviously run through what you've got, what certain
I often lay out all my cards and sort of pass my opponent the list written down and say, is there anything you want me to clarify about this, or are you comfortable with it?
Yeah.
And if they say, oh, what does this guy do again? It's, oh, well, if Nian would get a stress, he removes it if there's someone in front of him.
Yeah. And I think it's always really good to do that, because if you have a bit more of an understanding of at least what the card could potentially do, that can also help you to fly against it. I mean, you could want to just go in completely blind. You'd be a bit crazy, but it's definitely something you can do there if you needed to. Right, so we've got some more slow moving from the Rebels.
Yep.
Which
slowly rolling in.
I think is a very good option for them, because they're looking to try and create a bit of a traffic jam there.
Yeah, Fergus was at just the right distance. I didn't feel like Nian could pull off his shenanigans yet. So
yeah,
couldn't go too far with him. Temin, I kind of wanted to intercept a bit more. Maybe get a block on Hera if she tried to cut through between those two rocks.
That is a great boost there, though. I
was very happy that I didn't clip the rock. I mean, I would have still had a decent arc on the fight, but yeah, I'm glad I fit.
That is...
Nian wasn't in the best spot, though, so he just went one forward.
No, but here you have a very nice little kill box there that I think it'd be very difficult for Hera to get out of. If maybe, even if she, yeah, I don't think Hera can get out of there. Because if you, there we go, right in a range 1 bubble there, even with a boost, I think she would struggle to get out of that.
So tokens up.
Tokens up, yeah. That is 2 really nice range 1 shots in there.
The only issue was that Timon was then kind of in the way for Poe. So Poe just went forwards a little bit. Because again, I wasn't entirely sure where Hera was going to be. If Hera did maybe get behind Timon, Poe would cover that issue.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be quite a tough one there. Because that, again, we've mentioned it, the A-Wing's got a really good dart, so
That's one of the best.
Oh, you didn't do that, did you?
Yeah, I thought, you know what? I've got the R for Astromech. Even if I do fail the boost and take the stress, I can clear it pretty easily. So let's give it a go. And it fit.
It did fit. Unfortunately, it looks like no arc's going to be on Hera, but you've still got great options on...
I've got more options than I had.
Yeah. We're getting a range 1 from Hera.
Into Neon.
What are we?
I think this is... it's just tabletop simulators, menus popping up and getting in the way, I think.
Oh, looking at passing a token across to Hera. So wisely giving her an evade in there. I think that's probably the best option right now. Because
this is one thing I really like about Fergus's list is all of these different options you've got. I mean, Hera's in a bad spot, but you can still pass her an evade, potentially pass her another focus from Garvin.
Yeah.
You know, protecting her from rerolls with Magva. She's in effectively a kill box, but she's still kind of safe.
I mean, that range 2 bubble around there, that's nice. So that's definitely going to be some... That's really good, but that's going to be the target lock stack landing on you. Oh, that's going to be dangerous for Niem. I think even Kyle... I missed it earlier. Did Kyle just about sneak in there?
I think everyone was in range. However, I think either Discord cut out or something got forgotten, and Fergus flips the you'll probably see it in a moment, he flips the token for false transponder codes, but never declared it, or which was I mean, you'll see us eventually roll to see if we agree if it happened or not.
So keep an eye down in the bottom corner, see if
we'll get to that when we get to it, because it was kind of an important thing, and it's the final. We want to do things as properly as we can.
Yeah.
But look at all these target locks.
I mean...
That's just mean.
I mean, like I said, if you go back and watch the 3-player Rumble, you'll see a lot more target locks than that. But that's very different. That was a completely different scenario. So... But yeah, I mean... 4 target locks. And we've got Poe. Do we go range 2 onto Kyle or range 2 onto Garvin?
I think I was concerned about shooting Garvin.
Spending that
Hera
focus.
Another focus. So yeah, going for shots of Magva.
Ooh, that's a good shout actually. Range 2 onto Magva, although again, there's that little bubble around her. Although
I mean, on the off chance that Neon gets some crazy crits and does wipe Hera off the board, Temin can then double into Magva.
Yeah.
And it's a decent shot. It's 1 focus and 2 hits.
Spending that focus, guaranteeing a damage through.
And then spending
focus,
focus to just take one shield off of Magma.
Debating it. Yeah, just taking the 1. I think that's the right option there.
I think Fergus was looking at it and going, well, I've got the target lock. That's enough mods.
Yeah. Oh, there was the flip
Oh, that's the
of
flip. Okay.
false transponder there.
Maybe that was the issue in that the timing is like
Off.
when you acquire it rather than like when you activate, maybe?
So, false transponder codes. After you acquire a lock on an object or an object acquires a lock on you, if you have one active charge, lose said active charge and jam that object, ignoring range restrictions. And here is where we have our little debate.
Yeah.
So, the charge down here did get flipped late.
But I could also tell that he probably would have activated it, and we called over the judge, who was yourself.
Hello. And
you made the executive decision to not make a decision, and we rolled for it.
Well, again, knowing
it's a tough call. It's a tough call.
And I liked you both, and I didn't want to be really mean. And to be honest, in a previous game where we had a decision like that, we did roll for it again, and Ayla Secura still flew off the board.
Oh, yes, okay.
But so we kind of followed suit and we rolled for it. I mean, it was a potential error, and there we go. So misses. So we called that false transponder codes was not in effect there. So we went hits.
So he gets his charge back.
Yeah.
And I get to spend the focus to at least get
one
some
shield
damage.
At least.
And let's see what I do. Oh. The green dice are not only in my favor.
Hot dice there, guys. Hot dice.
Very hot green dice.
We brought the finale dice along with us. The ones that wanted to make it super interesting.
And then we're over to Garvin, who has a fully modded shot.
Oh, fully modded range 2. That's nice. Now, I will say this little area in here is going to be very interesting later.
In terms of maneuvers?
In terms of where people are actually going to go later, but we'll see.
It's going to be a mess.
Yeah. Oh, so we have finding which target lock it is, spending it. Definitely.
One of them.
Oh, that's good.
Gets it. Good. Spends the focus, passes over to Hera for 3 hits.
Just so good.
The synergy's great.
Wow.
And then again, Neon just, I guess, laughing in his cockpit.
Yeah.
It's a shield. That's a terrible impression of him, but you know.
Yeah, but
I'm not known for impressions.
True. I'm not gonna lie. But no, that a great bit of synergy there between Garvin and Hera. This list is just so good for that synergy. It's kind of rude, but also it fits with that rebel flavor so perfectly.
Yeah, the rebels are now at a point where you can have a whole list of people sharing tokens rather than just having, this guy will pass a token over.
Oh, that's a great shot there from
Temin.
Always
underestimated, because you look at the list and you go, okay, Poser 6, Neon, he's got his shenanigans, and then there's the guy who can boost. Okay.
Whoa.
And then Hera again, not even needing that evade.
I mean, we almost need like a little counter at the moment for how the success rate on these dice. That is crazy.
I mean, after all the maneuvers, and you're like, okay, Hera's in a kill box. She's got tokens, but she's in a kill box. And didn't need to spend tokens on defense.
Yeah. I mean, that's just
wild.
But
it's the sort of thing you look at and you go, you know what? Yeah. I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
Yeah. And now the great thing is, watch that focus going over to Magma from Hera.
Yeah, because she didn't need to spend it herself, so she can then pass it on.
And that's
technically not even Hera's focus. That's Garvin's.
Yeah. And we finally have a big hit. So that is shields and a face down card onto Near None. But given the fact that you've got 3 ships pointing right at Nien, not bad.
I mean,
Again,
it's why I spent at least tried to spend the focus on offense, because there was no way I wasn't losing that token somewhere along the lines. I may as well have it on the offense. Didn't really pan out in the end.
yeah. Now, big debate here for Fergus. Does he double down on Nien, or does he switch over to maybe Poe?
He does have the toe lock on Nien.
Yeah, and the focus, I would double down, but he's going for the range 2 on Poe. He said no tokens on Poe as well.
I think in the long run, probably the right decision, because you know that you're probably going to have a shot on Nien next turn anyway.
Yeah,
And you can save the toe lock for a better shot.
definitely. So let's see. That is, again, another great shot.
It's a good shot. He's got all these focus tokens. Doesn't need them.
Ooh, so that's 2 shields down on Poe.
Yes.
So I would say overall that was a very good round for Fergus there. Not a bad round for yourself, but Fergus's evade dice were really on his side there. So
I was really hoping to take out Hera in that exchange.
I'm not going to lie, I flown against Hera and I kept really hoping to take her out and it just didn't work. So there's a part of me that is rooting for you to take Hera out.
I mean, on the other hand, though, I really like Hera as a character, and I would feel bad about having to shoot her down.
I mean, that's just your good guy sensibilities there, isn't it? I mean,
That's me being a Rebels fanboy, but you know.
I mean, I play the bad guys and I want to take her out. She's blowing up installations left, right, and centre, you know, with overpowered B-wings.
Do you know who else wants to take her out?
Kanan.
Yeah, there we go.
Bad jokes all around. Sorry, guys. But yeah.
There's a great bad joke in Bad Batch recently, but there's spoilers.
Yeah. Big rule: no spoilers for Bad Batch. We can't ruin that for people. All we will say
it's good. Go watch it.
Definitely watch it. It has got a lot of potential in there. I'm a big fan. So.
Yeah, this is the term where you look at your dials and go, what can I do?
Yeah. Because I think what's going to be tricky for you is that you've got Kyle, Magva, and Garvin that are all going to move before you. I mean, admittedly, Garvin...
But weirdly...
He's got Hera right in front of him.
That was kind of to my advantage, because everyone's going to move at least closer to Nien, giving him more space to do his shenanigans. So I was fine with what he was up to. The issue was that I was pretty sure that Leia was going to get activated this turn.
Which she has been activated.
She has, and that the U-Wing is about to turn 90 degrees to face Poe and Temin. I believe, yes, there is.
There is the 90-degree turn from the U-Wing. Really,
so knowing something
really
like that is coming, I did my best to try and avoid it.
Yeah, it's not the easiest of things to do, but there we go. There's false transponder this time. So it does mean
so no stress for doing the stop and the rotate for the U-Wing. Takes an action, takes the target lock, and uses the transponder codes to jam Poe.
Yeah. No stress for Kyle there for doing a stop, so getting another focus.
I thought it was interesting that Fergus went for the jam onto Poe, because Poe can quite easily remove it and not really be too bothered.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was a case of sort of looking at it and going, right, Poe is the one that's most likely to be able to get... Ooh, lovely move there.
Yeah.
That margin of error.
And a boost for good measure, just to really close the gap.
Getting right, making sure you've definitely got the orange one.
It's a free boost, and you want to make sure.
And that's why.
This is the combo that I just love in this game.
Wow.
Do the K turn. go, oh, I'll take a stress. I've done a red maneuver. I'll take an action. And then, oh, there's an enemy right in front of me. I'll remove that stress. And then I will take my regular action to, well, probably target lock.
Yeah, that is just an
It's so
amazing
fun.
bit of flying there. Not gonna lie, you just can't really. That was just, yeah.
It was definitely an advantage being on Tabletop Simulator because you can really line up stuff like that and be, okay, even if he turns the U-wing to the side, I can definitely clear it. Whereas in person, I mean, I wear glasses, so
Yeah.
sometimes lining stuff up doesn't always work.
So we've got Hera booking it out of there a little bit.
Making good use of Leia on this turn. So far, all 3 of his ships have done... Sorry, all bar Garvin have done a red maneuver, I believe.
Yes. So yeah, Garvin did the 1 forward and bumped. There's a bump from Poe, so...
So no actions for Poe, which kind of means that the jam
doesn't really do
didn't
anything.
really work out.
Yeah.
But he's still got the target lock, which, you know, he's got range 1 shot.
He does.
But I mean, Magva has a target lock on Poe.
I was about to say he's used any target lock.
Should clarify who's target locking who.
Yeah. But we're getting Kyle passing the focus to Garvin, which I think is a good option because you've got a rather tasty range 1 shot coming in at you there.
I think he might change his mind because Garvin doesn't have a shot, or maybe that's what he's thinking about. I can't actually remember where this token ends up.
I mean, again,
no, I think it is staying on Garvin.
Yeah, I mean, where tokens can go all over the place. So I anticipate that's a range 1 into Poser.
I don't know, because Neon's hurt and has potentially 2 other ships shooting at him.
Yeah. Didn't actually...
looks like, well, it's 3 dice, so I guess it is the range 1.
Yeah, going
and there we go, we've got the little arrow.
Poe.
This game was only the other day, and I'm already forgetting all the little details. Help.
I mean, I've flown quite a few games since this, and watched a few as well. So sometimes it's quite nice though to almost kind of forget what happened, so that you can come back to it and be like, oh yeah,
a little bit.
Like all of these ridiculous dice.
More ridiculous dice.
More evades.
Yeah, Hera's red dice there, not the best with only 1 hit.
Yeah.
Not even able to spend the focus on offense, but here comes Poe with just dice.
Range 1 dice though, so.
And Hera with only 1 token this time.
But that token is a focus. So, I mean, I think I'd prefer a focus over an evade. That's not bad.
For having no tokens, I'm happy with effectively 2 hits.
Full on trail mix there. But there we go. You've caused her to spend her tokens, so that in itself is an advantage.
Yes, and Garvin has no shot, so he goes straight over to Neon.
Yeah. Ooh, now here's the tough one.
Yeah.
Do you go for that range 1 shot into Garvin?
Here's my thought process. Hera is in the bullseye, so I get the heavy laser cannon.
Yeah.
And she no longer has any tokens. It seemed the best time to try and shoot her, despite not taking the target lock earlier.
Oh, it's a shame that you've got those 2 crits in there, because obviously heavy laser will drop them down, but...
I mean, I'll gladly take more dice, but...
That's another one gone through.
Another 1 gone through is, I think, the key point here.
Yeah, I mean...
Hera's down to 1 health.
1 is better than none.
I mean, the only other ship I've shot is Magva. Every other shot so far has gone into Hera, and she's still here. It's incredible.
That's... Yeah.
This is.
The defense on an A-Wing is crazy. I mean, we said 3 evade dice. With that maneuverability, the tokens didn't even need tokens that time. Yeah, I think the thing that is probably bringing her points down at the moment was maybe a bit of uncertainty about how often people would fly her over, say, the B-Wing, and the 2 attack die. But still, very, very powerful. That is a really good shot from Tebin there as well.
Yeah, taking that range 1 shot into Mr. Focus, so only the 1 damage.
But causing the spend of that focus, so that means that Kyle has no focuses left now.
Yeah, he no longer has a pool that he can pass out each round.
Yeah.
But he does get to shoot back, I think.
Yeah,
yes,
we'll see.
Now.
Yeah, we'll see Magva and Kyle Katarn shoot back now.
I'm trying to remember which order they shoot. I think
it looks like we've got Magva first.
Okay, we're doing Magva into either Poe or Neon.
I think you've got the target lock. You go for Poe.
Yeah, target lock, range 1 on a no token Poe, because Neon's there, but he's got the focus, and Poe is, the most expensive thing I've got.
He's the most expensive thing on the board.
That's true. Yeah.
In fact, I think.
He quite often is.
Yeah. That's good.
It's a good shot.
Spending the target lock because we've got no focus on Magva. Oh, that's a shame. So could stay above half
still
here.
Three hits.
Nope, going under half. That's
heroic.
Heroic. Well, guaranteed 1 going through anyway. So let's see.
I think we're just checking the wording on. Oh, we were checking if Magva stops defensive rerolls, but it's only offense.
Yeah,
that's what that check was.
So,
so heroic improving the defense a little bit, which for a 1 point upgrade, great. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean heroics. It can be handy.
It's got to a point where I should probably actually try some of the other abilities.
Yeah. But I mean, again, I think it's one of those almost stapled on resistance abilities, especially with your A-Wings and X. Yeah, 1 point. I love the 1 point talents. I mean, my favourites at the moment are Deadeye Shot and Marksmanship.
They're also very good.
Yeah. So, Kyle-Katarn, I think, going range 1 into near Num there.
Do you reckon that's range 1?
Yeah, that's easily range 1. Yeah, range 1, spending the time.
So Neon on 3 health. Kyle spending his target lock now with the range 1 shot rather than that range 3 he had earlier. A smart move to save it. Gets an extra damage.
That's good.
Could kill him.
Definitely 1 going through on Neon. And that's 1 evade. You still
So I didn't think I had the focus because I couldn't see it, but Fergus, ever the gentleman, did point it out.
I mean, looking at the angle, you did have an X-Wing.
There was an X-Wing and a U-Wing in the way. I couldn't see it.
And Fergus could see it quite clearly. So again, very, very well played there by Fergus of pointing that out. And yes, it is. Again, that's another reason that I love this game, is that I'd say most, if not all, of the people I play against are really fair like that, and they want it to be a fair game, which is just fantastic to see.
Yeah, particularly for a final. I mean, we had the whole thing with the dice roll earlier about the transponders, because we don't want to win feeling like something went wrong and we didn't quite deserve it.
Yeah.
You want to win properly.
Oh yeah, definitely. You want to win on merit, not by calling the TO over every time and be like, oh, can you check this? Can you check that? I mean, yes, obviously, don't hesitate to call the TO over, but don't second guess every decision.
Yeah.
I mean, in the long run, this is a game. It's a hobby. It's supposed to be
We're all
fun.
here to have fun and make pew pew noises at a table.
Oh, yes, the pew pew noises, 100%. I mean, one of my friends, every time we play, he always puts Jewel of Fates on, at least at the beginning of the game, and it just adds an extra element of atmosphere to it.
You can add almost any of the Star Wars music and it would be good. Like even like the non-battle ones.
Yeah.
And it'd still be brilliant. I mean, it's Star Wars music is fantastic.
I mean, I would say you could add Jewel of Fates to anything and it would make it far more dramatic. You're doing the washing up, put Jewel of Fates on. You're buttering some toast, put Jewel of Fates on and pretend that butter knife is a lightsaber.
You don't do that anyway?
Shh.
I think at this point we did get a little bit distracted just talking about the stuff in the game we like and how thematic everything is.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's another thing about this. There's so much lore that goes behind all of this. And one of the things I will give credit to FFG for, and I do hope that AMG continue this as well, but a lot of the things that they've done with the different ships, the different pilots, they've really understood the lore and what should do what. I mean, you look at the two different versions of Poe, even just the names on there. You've got obviously the Flyboy Poe and you've got the Resistance Commander Poe. You can see the evolution of the character.
Yeah, and the ability is very similar, but at the same time, it's like, oh yeah, this is Commander Poe because he can share his ability somewhat.
Yeah, instead of Flyboy Poe, who keeps it all for himself and tries to take on a dreadnought solo.
Yeah.
And then again, you look at the Han Solo Gunner card, which always shoots first. Yes, I always feel like that was a shot at George Lucas.
Oh, it definitely. I mean, you've seen the Greedo card as well. His whole thing is he gets better if you shoot first, but worse if the enemy shoots first. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
In fact, in the comments, you watching in the comments in this game, what is your favorite like lore to card transition into the game? I probably worded that terribly, but I think you get the point.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't even have to be ability. It could just be the title that card has got, as we said, like with Poe and Flyboy. It could be just the fact that something can be used in multiple occasions. Let us know what you think is a really good translation from the media.
And we're finally back to movement. We did have a bit of a discussion when we were recording this.
Yeah. And that's not a bad position there from Kyle.
It's a great position. I think he took the stress to rotate his gun towards the fight.
There we go. So he's got his arc pointing this way. So that means that's a very terrible sort of arc, but...
Yeah, he gets the point across.
There we go. So he's going to definitely catch... well, that's Garvin even, but it's quite likely that he's going to catch the 270s.
He's in a position where if he doesn't catch me, I've put myself possibly in some bad spots to get out of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great position for Kyle.
Yeah. And Garvin's now got himself in a really good position to come back. So nice talent there from Poe. No?
That was Timon.
Temin.
Doesn't get his free boost. I did consider doing like the 2 and then a boost, but I felt I really needed to just turn around. I'd be far enough from the fight that I'd be fairly safe. And if the Ewing doesn't move again, I might get the bullseye on it.
Yeah. Well, obviously the Ewing has done the stop and opened its wings. Hera has bumped. So this is going to be really interesting to see where
everyone ends up.
Nian and Poe end up.
Yeah, I mean, we thought last time was going to be a bit messy, but this one... We've already had a couple of bumps, I think.
Yeah. Well,
actually, no, it's just the one. Poe, I felt, couldn't get a shot this turn without just bumping and being in the middle of everything, so he just got out of there.
Yeah, well, we can see that Nian and Hera bumped, so they've got no tokens, but Kyle does have a focus that he can share over to Hera, and I think again that's the best. Stick it straight on Hera. That's the best option because then from there she can pass it wherever.
Well, if she doesn't need to spend it, but alternatively,
If
she's the one who can kill Nian before he gets a shot.
Yeah, this is
that potential. So,
that's very
shot.
good. 3 hits.
Nian's on 2 health. One's going through. Nian needs all 2 results. He's had them all game, and he carries on.
And he gets them. Just
at this point, we were starting to wonder if there was something bugged with Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I think I already know who the MVP of this game is, and it's the evade dice. The evade dice are the MVP.
No specific ship, no specific pilot, not even a specific pilot, just the green dice.
Yeah. And this is really tough for you because you've got the target lock there on Garvin, but you do have, that's right, range 1 onto Hera. Can you finish her off? It's 4v3.
It's a lot of dice, not a lot of tokens on the board.
The anticipation.
Can it be done?
I think Fergus.
He survived this long. Can he get a kill?
I think Fergus is there going, go on, shoot Garvin. But I 100%.
It's just taunting.
Oh no.
Yeah, not the best.
Oh.
Green dice, MVP. Red dice, need a bit of work.
There is a crit in there, but that's that focus spent. Oh, that was a shame.
It was, but I was very surprised that Nian was even alive. So.
Yeah. I mean, he is in possibly one of the worst kill boxes I have ever seen. I think all 4 ships are just going to be railing in on him.
It was a poor decision on my part. I think that was the one move in particular in this game. I was like, as soon as the dials were set and things started moving, I was like, oh, hang on, no, this isn't right.
Well, after that last round where you managed to boost Poe into a shot and boost Temin into an amazing kill box, I think we'll let you off with having a slightly iffy one, but that is the demise of Nian Num there. So a very, very valiant effort from him. You definitely did very well there. Just tanking all those shots for so long. Right, so after losing Nian, we're going to get a nice shot coming in. Ooh, definitely going to try and see if we can finish Hera off.
It's about time she went.
Yes.
And I know it's not the best shot, but at this point, I've put so much effort into trying to kill her. I feel like if I don't, what have I been doing?
Yeah, I think it's a good option. It's a bit of a shit. That's not Temin's target lock there. No, it's Poe's target lock.
Poe's.
But that'll do it.
Finally.
That will do it because her token was stripped.
The shot from downtown.
Hera finally bites the dust.
And I've gained some points.
Yeah. I mean,
not the best trade.
It goes back to what we said earlier. She's an I6, but only 44 points with the XX23s. I mean, she's going to get a points boost. Like, her points are going to go up.
She will, but I hope it's not to the point where she's unusable. I don't know what that point amount would be.
I think provided she's under 50. Yeah, I think 50 is an absolute ceiling there.
Yeah.
Oh, heroic on 3 dice, and you get it. Nice. Yeah, I think 50 at the absolute max. Probably 48 or 49, I think, would be acceptable. I mean, if we just have a quick look at some of the other RZ2s in there, or RZ1s even. I mean, you look at Ahsoka, she's I5 and she's got 3 4s. She's 49 points. And she's got her sort of force coordinate, as it were. So I think maybe if she was in line there on 49 points, that might be a bit closer, I think.
Yeah, that seems reasonable, but we're not in charge of the points, are we?
No, we're not in charge of the points, and I do believe that our next points update is going to be, they said July, I think they said.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't think it's this month, but again, I think we're due a points update soon. Well, I was about to say there's not a lot of data to go on, but there have been some online tournaments such as this one, so there is still some data for them to go on. But Poe is now the one that is hopefully going to try and dominate the field in I6.
Yeah, he's a bit more comfortable now that he doesn't have to worry about catching anyone in particular, because Fergus' ships, they've got their shenanigans with their tokens, but they're not the most maneuverable.
No, I think Garvin is the most maneuverable for him there. But we're only one round away from having Leia back in play, which is going to be a massive advantage. Yeah, it could be a very big advantage there. But I think you're going to get Temin's going to come in quite nicely. I reckon Temin will probably come in somewhere around here behind Magva. Got to be careful though of where Garvin's going to go, because I could imagine it's going to be a 1 or a 2 forward just to about here. Seems good.
Yeah, I think I was looking at it and going, okay, I've put a bit of damage onto Kyle, a bit of damage onto Magva. I probably want to continue focusing on one of them.
Yeah.
Particularly because if I don't shoot Garvin, he's got less opportunity to pass his token around.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think getting Poe, I don't think you're going to be able to get Poe round to get a shot this turn.
Well, at the moment we're dealing with Temin, who I think I was contemplating, like, do I do the boost? I've already got a decent shot on to Magva, so I forego doing the boost to keep distance from Garvin,
which I think is a good option.
And then Poe does the 2 sharp, which is blue because of the astromech.
Yeah. Goes
for a boost. And I looked at this and I thought I had a shot.
Yeah, I mean, that is very, very close. Like, so
I took a focus. What I should have done is taken a target lock.
Hindsight is fantastic, though. So let's see.
Because that is not in arc.
That is the smallest of margins there.
I don't know. Some of the games Amy had in this tournament, smaller margins, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, a target lock would have been fantastic right there for you instead. But hopefully,
it's Poe. He can always double action and grab one later.
So we've got a range 2 coming in to Temin from Garvin. Not bad.
2 out of 3. Decent roll.
Will we see the first shield down on Temin? I mean, he hasn't really been. I don't think he's actually even been shot at. He might have had one shot against him.
No, because Kyle shot past him into me. I think that was the first shot into Temin, actually.
Oh, I think that's just at range 2 there as well.
Yeah, both ships are range 3. So if I had boosted, definitely would have got the range 1, but I'd rather keep the distance.
Yeah, I think that's better. I mean, you would have had a range one back from Garvin, and also potentially. Oh, that's good though. 2 hits and a crit.
That is 2 hits and a crit.
And just 1 shield down on Magva.
Yeah, I was hoping that crit would sneak through, maybe cause some problems.
It was always going to be tough, but I think as well, if you'd have boosted with Temin, I think that potentially Kyle might have been able to squeak a shot in.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I probably would have noticed that and thought about that as well. Or, as was the case just now, forgot about it entirely and it happened to work out that way. I can't quite remember my thought process.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad situation there, because I think you definitely came out all right though. You lost a shield on Temin. It would have been nice to have got a little bit more in on Magva.
Now this coming turn, Leia is available again, and looking at the position of everyone, I was pretty confident it was going to trigger.
Yeah.
And knowing that the U-Wing can turn either 90 or 180, I knew I could at least do a bank with Temin and either have a shot without being hit by the U-Wing or close the wings, then move and barrel roll into out of the arc.
It's very tough because you always think, right, does Magva turn 90 to try and catch Poe and sort of have down here,
or turn around completely and try and take out Temin? It's a sitting turret.
Yeah,
with Leia on board at times.
It's really tough. I mean, I would probably say that I would aim for 90 and then this way to try and catch Poe out, because he's obviously only got 3 hull left. But we will see. So there's Leia triggered. That's the 3 hard from Kyle. I always forget that
Fergus made amazing use of Leia in this game.
Yeah.
Well, I think on average, Leia triggers like twice a game, really, because you get some movement in, then it gets to the turn where you're like, okay, now I'll Leia. Then you gotta wait 3 more turns, and then you can Leia again, at which point you're kind of at this point, and you're not going to go again. Both triggers of Leia, Fergus absolutely capitalized on it.
Oh yeah, 100% did it just at the right time and got the best out of it.
Just everyone doing reds.
Yeah. So
I think there's a bit of trouble with the rotating button, but there it is.
There we go. There's the 90. So getting that kill box here for Poe, hoping to catch him with 2. Now, does Garvin try and do a K over the top? Or no, the Talon. So yeah, looks like Poe is got
definitely
gauntlet
casting
to
a wide
down.
net to catch Poe.
Yeah.
It did mean, however, that Temin was pretty free to do what he wanted.
Yeah. I mean, if Temin could manage something really small, like a 1 bang, and end up here, probably a little bit further back, but then it'll be probably not too bad for him, but we'll see in a second.
Now, I think that range check was for Jyn Erso to see if Garvin was in range to take an evade instead.
Oh, there we go. There we go. That is a lovely, lovely angle there. Yeah,
Temin's safe. He's got a decent range 1 shot. Poe was never going to get out of all of those arcs.
But that boost will get him out of Kyle's arc and possibly here.
I think he got out of Garvin, but I couldn't remember which way the turret was facing for Kyle.
Oh, actually, I think Kyle's turret is pointing this way, so the turret will be there.
But it's 1 less shot coming out.
Yeah, that's a 2 dice shot, though, instead of a 3 dice shot there with the turret.
And Poe's gained a range 1 shot.
Yes. And
Let's see what you can do.
I find it funny that anytime you've had a range one shot is normally the time you've had bullseye as well. So it's a case of, well, I've got the heavy laser cannon, but I don't want to use it. And anytime
Yeah,
you've
it's
had
an
bullseye
interesting thing that
otherwise-
it triggers at range 1. The only time that really works out is if you've closed your wings, because
Yeah.
you ignore the lowered attack dice in
Yeah.
bullseye.
Oh, but that's 3 hits. That's 3 hits going through. No, spending the evade, so that's just 2 hits going through, but that is half points on Magva. So closing that points gap now, 103 to 74. Let's see,
And with 4 health, Temin could potentially get the kill.
Let's see, Garvin. Out of
Poe just sneaks
that
out the arc.
again. A beautiful use of that boost.
Just trying to live up to the name of the channel.
Indeed, out of arc. Unfortunately, Magva is very much in arc right
Yeah,
now.
Magva is definitely in arc.
Yeah. And that's another range one shot coming in there with the focus.
There's been a lot of range 1 shots this game, and there's still a lot of ships on the board.
Yeah, very in close fighting. It's almost, I feel like you guys might have channeled Amy a little bit in here and gone quite aggressive with it. More so yourself. Fergus has obviously slow rolled quite a bit. But you've definitely...
Well, starting at a sort of ship deficit, being 3 against 4, I felt I needed to fly aggressively and take something out quickly. Didn't
and that's
really pan out, but
yeah. Well, that's 3 more. And there's the evade, so that's 2 more
damage
on Magva. So not far off there. Would have been nice if one of those crits had gone through earlier, unfortunately.
But now we'll see what Fergus can do to Poe.
Yeah, range 1 from Magva.
3 health on Poe.
And I can't quite work out whose target lock that is there. I think it could be Magva. Ooh, spending that focus. And no, the target lock is not there. So that is a hit crit on Poe Dameron.
Putting him on 1 health.
And the crit is... That's a loose stabilizer, if I remember. Yeah,
yes,
loose stabilizer.
So if you do a non-straight maneuver, take a damage. And considering where Poe is, not the best.
Yeah. Considering where Poe is, it's looking like it's a big block here.
But at the end of the day, it might not even matter because Kyle also has a shot.
So let's see. And that's just...
I think, yeah, the dice is a little bit crooked, but I mean, it doesn't really matter which one it is at this point. But Poe finds Nian's dice floating in space and rolls them.
Yep. Well, that was a bit clutch there. I mean, that's quite a scary situation to be in because you really need to be clearing that loose stabilizer, and you don't exactly have...
Oh yeah, I had a bit of an issue with my dial at this point because Tabletop Simulator has a lot of buttons, and I pressed a bunch by accident. So just give us a moment, and we'll undo and put Poe back to where he should be.
While we're getting Poe back to where he should be, what I think we need to address is that Magva is not stressed.
Yes.
So Magva doesn't need to go anywhere.
And can definitely block Poe.
Yeah.
Which means Poe then still can't fix his crit, would still have to go forwards.
And from that position, if you've bumped into Magva, I would say you're definitely going over that rock.
I mean, or they would just be forever locked, bumping into each other until one of them dies from other ships shooting.
Yes, there is that.
Which wouldn't be ideal for me because I would only have Temin really doing anything.
Hey, Temin has been a...
Oh no,
Temin
he's been doing
unit.
great, but Fergus would have 2 ships free to move around.
I mean, just looking at the overall positioning, Garvin's in a bit of a tricky spot as well, because I don't think he can really pull off anything without either going over that gas cloud or bumping.
I think the 2 sharp would fit. But yeah, Fergus doing the smart play, just stopping, opening his wings for a bit more agility.
Yeah.
And hoping for the bump.
So there's the 2 from Kyle.
Kyle coming around, just keeping my ships in the arc.
That is a great position. He's got such a good coverage there with that. And there's the bump from
and there is the bump.
Garvin. So avoiding the gas cloud though, so that is good. Now, Tevin doesn't have much place he can go yet.
No, but by bumping, I've stayed out of 2 arcs, and I can take a shot at Kyle. This is closing Poe's wings to barrel roll, flying past Magva with a blue, clearing the stress, taking an action to flip the crit, and then using Poe's ability to barrel roll around the rock. Which is a sequence of things that's a little bit crazy, but hey, you know what? He's alive, and he's got rid of his crit, and he's not facing a rock.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got yourself out of Garvin's arc. You didn't go over the rock. You've got rid of loose stabilizer. That was pretty spectacular, and it now leaves Fergus with a very difficult decision. Does he go for that long range 3 downtown from Kyle into Poe, or does he do the forward arc into Tevin? Let's just check Garvin.
Yeah, I think we're checking various people's arcs first. I think we determined that
Garvin nothing.
Doesn't have anything, so it is Temin into Kyle.
Was that a range 1? It was difficult to see there.
We'll see how many dice I grab. It looks like 3, so range 2.
That was a very small margin as well, though, of range 2. So unless it's a lot of crits, it's not going to be... It'd be difficult to take Kyle out here.
Yeah.
But, I've seen crazier.
The crazy thing, though, is even if I do force him to spend a focus, I haven't really done anything in the long run because he's got 2.
Yeah. So there was nothing there. So
no damage.
Checking that
Kyle
side arc.
Has that shot. In fact, I don't think he had a shot on Temin.
He did.
Well, not with the side arc, sorry.
Not with the side arc, so...
But he is going for Poe.
Yeah. Worth it. 1 point of health left.
Poe just has dice. And it wasn't even range 3.
Yeah, that's hit crit. That is really good.
And not enough for heroic.
Not enough for heroic. So that is Poe Dameron.
Despite his fancy maneuvers, he did go down.
That was very fancy.
I was very happy with all of those combinations of abilities and triggers just to get him in that position.
Absolutely. That was fantastic. And so engrossed in that I didn't even see that is time. That was the last round of shooting.
Yeah, Poe died right at the end. But, Fergus had that kind of in the bag.
Yeah.
A little bit earlier than that.
With it taking so long to take Hera down.
Yeah.
Again, it raises that question of, is it worth trying to take her down when she's only 42 points basic?
Fergus did say maybe I should have focused Kyle because of his more significant support role, but at the same time, Fergus did a great job of keeping him at the back, out of the fight, not in my arcs, being that support role. He flew the blitz brilliantly.
Yeah,
totally deserved to win the Com Wars.
Indeed. So congratulations to Fergus, who is the winner of the first Out of Arc Commentator Wars. So well done to him. Big well done to all of the pilots in there. There was some absolutely fantastic flying, some brilliant games. James, some of the stuff you pulled off in this game alone was...
that was most of the dice.
No. I'll disagree. There was some absolutely fancy flying in there. Some of those boosts you pulled off.
Yeah, but also some of the positioning from Fergus was just top.
I think that everyone flew really well there. It was a really good set of games, and I've thoroughly enjoyed watching it. And I hope that all of the guys who've watched the videos have enjoyed it as well. So big thank you to everyone that's watched. And again, James, big thank you for taking part and joining me for the commentary on there.
Yeah, I hope I can join in on whenever the next one is.
Absolutely, we'll definitely be looking into that very soon. But guys, that's it for the Commentator Wars. So we'll be back to our regular games next week. We do have more things in the bag. We've got a tournament at the local store in Toyman in July, so hopefully we'll bring you some great footage from that. But in the meantime, I just want to say thank you very much for sticking around and watching. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell, and as always, we will see you next time.